Hello there, everybody. Gmod here, and I am back once again. I'm still not dead. Don't worry. I know the video took a while. I'm sorry, but life happened. We're back with some more Pokemon Platinum. In the last episode, we went on a little bit of a journey of the past, exploring several events in Pokemon Platinum history, where you can obtain some Pokemon that are not attainable today. I want to talk about them regardless, though, because they're a cool part of the game's history, and I think it deserves to be talked about in a series like this. However, today we're taking on something just as monumentous, something we've been waiting to do for quite some time, even. And that thing we're doing is that we are flying all the way back to the fight area, because today we are finally taking a look at the Battle Frontier, a mechanic that we got a little familiar with way back when. However, I've enjoyed doing it because I wanted to carry the story stuff and whatnot, which honestly at this point in the game, we are mostly done with our story stuff. So, you know, I think that's a pretty good time. Because as you can see here, we've caught lots of legendary Pokemon, we've explored a lot of the land, so I think now's a good time to get back into this. That being said though, do I have my entire team with me right now? I think I do. Oh, I do. Okay, perfect, because we're going to be needing all the power we can get, because we're going to the Battle Frontier, baby. Let's go. So the Battle Frontier is a... Actually, no, before I talk about it, how about we just go... let's go experience it ourselves, shall we? Let's walk in on here. And, oh my god, holy secretary, customer service. Welcome to the Battle Frontier. This is your first visit? Right this way, please. Now, is it all 6 of them saying that at the exact same time, or only one of them? Who could be saying? Who knows? Oh, your voice recorder, how nice. We upgraded the voice recorder for the first time visit for the Battle Frontier use. I'll borrow yours for a moment. So yeah, here's this mechanic that we have, not mechanic, this tool of ours we haven't used like ever. Let's see, slide over this part here, and tick-a-tack, chunk there. All done, here you go. And we get the Versus Recorder Upgraded Edition. Our staff will be pleased to explain how the individual facilities of the Battle Frontier operate. I can go over general topics. You have any questions? So, there is a bunch of stuff here you can talk about to them. However, since I'm here, your wonderful guide, Gmod, I think I'll do my best attempt at doing it myself. We hope you enjoy your visits, and I hope you enjoy your identical 6-girl job here. How did they hire you? Like, did they like have to find people like, okay, you have to look exactly the same? It's like Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny. I thought this place is kind of funny. Hey everybody, welcome to the Battle Frontier! Hooray! This is a familiar sight if you've been playing Pokemon games for a while now, because this is a returning feature in a couple of generations. And Gen 4 is no exception. So the first thing here we're going to be talking about is the middle part over here. These are the Exchange Exchange corners, and here you can trade in something called BP for some prizes, BP standing for Battle Points. And this is where you can get yourself some wonderful items while completing in the Battle Frontier. You got all sorts of vitamin drinks for way cheaper than what they usually would be, because these things are expensive in the stores. You got ourselves the power items, which are useful for EV trading your Pokemon. If you're interested about EV trading, look it up. I'm not going to talk too in-depth about it, but it's a really important thing if you're playing competitive Pokemon, which I'm not covering here because this is a more casual playthrough. And of course, you have yourself some cool items. You got the Toxic Orb and Flame Orb. You have the White Herb, Power Herb, Bright Powder, Choice Band, Focus Band, Scope Lens, Muscle Band, Focus Sash, Choice Scarf, Razor Claw, Razor Fang, Rare Candies, which are extremely expensive and honestly probably not worth the price of 48 BP. That's a little crazy even for me. Yes, tons of items here, and as you can see here, some of the items are actually familiar items, such as the Razor Claw and Razor Fang, which are used for evolving your Pokemon, which are, you know, pretty important if you don't have those at the current moment. You have to you're trading up those Pokemon. Got some very powerful items like the Choice Scarf, which will make it so your Pokemon get a huge speed boost or is locked into using only one move. Get other powerful stuff like the Choice Band, which is the same thing for attack instead. Very powerful items you can be found here, and all these are, you know, usually stuck into the post gear, which is why when I got myself a Life Orb with my Gyarados, I was really surprised because, yeah, it's one of those items you usually find here in the Battle Frontier. However, we got one in the main game, or not really the main game, but kind of the main game, if you know what I'm saying. Pretty helpful. Got this girl over here. More prizes for a bunch of TMs, you know, pretty useful stuff. Thunderwave Lewis, always nice to have. Vulcan's a great move, Colin's a great move, Shadow Ball, as we all know, is a great move. All sorts of good stuff. And here, Earthquake. This is the one I really want to make note of, which is the main reason I came over to talk to this girl. If you remember, we got an Earthquake TM way back near the start of the game, and that's the only one in the entire game unless you guard up BP, which is a whopping 80 of them. So, yeah, that's why I was telling you to cherish that Earthquake TM and make sure you teach it to someone you really care about. Because getting another one It's a bit of a grind. There's just a little bit of a map diagram over here. A scale model of the Battle Frontier. And all 5 places we're going to do today. Pretty cool stuff. And since we're already here, we might as well show up the final shop here. The Scratch Off Card Shop. So we can buy Scratch Off cards for 1 BP. And after we scratch them off, you'll have icons of Pokemon. And depending on what you get, you will get different rewards. And also, more importantly here, Ditto can apparently transfer into any other Pokemon. I actually forgot about that. But unfortunately, we had no BP, so we can't do anything here. But however, we can very soon. Because now, with that being said, we are going to go walk into the Battle Frontier facilities. All 5 of them. And I think the first one we're going to take on, we'll just go to like clockwise order. We'll take on this one first. This is the Battle Hall. Let each Pokemon seek number 1. Let's go check it out. And can I just say, the music in these places are very fun. And they have Pachirisu. Who can hate this? They have Pachirisu in here too. It's perfect. Pachi Pachi! So that being said, let's go talk to these nice ladies over here and get started. Welcome to the Battle Hall. I am your guide to single and double battle challenges. Please be aware that these challenges are designed for a single trainer. So you may be wondering why she mentioned that specifically. That's because this is actually a multiplayer mode. Because if you talk over here to the one in red, you can actually do multi-battles, which allows you to play with your friends and do the Battle Frontier together, which is actually a really cool feature. But unfortunately though, because I don't have any friends, we can't do it. I'm kidding. Actually, funny enough, the main reason why I haven't actually done, like, this episode took a while to actually upload and record and all this stuff is because I was hanging out with my girlfriend the entire previous weekend. And obviously, I didn't really want to record, I kind of just wanted to chill with her, so that's actually the main reason. So don't worry, I'm not lonely. I got a lovely girlfriend. Also, this song is a bop. Welcome to the Battle Hall, for real this time. Alright, single double battle challenges. So, since we're doing this for the first time, let's check out the info. At the Battle Hall, you may take single or double battle challenges alone. For the single battle challenge, you enter 1 Pokemon of at least level 30. Double battle challenge requires you enter 2 kinds of same Pokemon, or at least level 30 each. Each of your characters are kept for the individual kinds of Pokemon. That makes it possible for any kind of Pokemon to aim for number 1. When you enter the hall, you'll be asked to choose what type and rank of Pokemon you want to battle. If you win 10 matches in a row, you'll earn battle points. If you want to interrupt your challenge, please save the game. If you don't save, you'll be disqualified from your challenge. Please be aware of that. So yeah, this one here is basically you pick a Pokemon and you're trying to go on a win streak with that Pokemon. That's essentially the idea here. And since we're doing this here, let's do it. And who don't want to enter into this, since we can only pick 1. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have the most faith in Gyarados, so we're gonna go Gyarados. And we're gonna save the game, which normally would be a death sentence if you're recording like I am, like you get nervous about, something happening, you get to re-record things, but you can't because you're saved over it. But in this mode, it's not too important. Right this way, please. Let's go take it on, shall we? Our first battle is the Battle Frontier. Also, fair warning, I'm sure. Look at the crowd, oh my god. I'm back on topic though. I'm sure this episode is going to be very long because we're going to be showing off all 5 facilities. And yeah, so get ready for a movie, folks. That's what I'm trying to say. Who's the type of Pokemon that you will battle? So as you can see here, you can pick yourself any one of these types that you want to take battle with. And obviously, your Pokemon's going to have super effective things you're weak to. So for our Gyarados here, we can basically pick anything we really want to for the most part. Just don't pick electric, obviously, because that's a death sentence. So how about we go ahead and have some fun fighting some fire types? Why not? Hello, pleased to meet you. I have horrible news, you're battling a champion. But yeah, the general idea here is that you want to pick your ranks, you battle a Pokemon of that type, and as you can see, the levels are not scaled like 50 or anything like you might expect if you played like newer Pokemon games. However, how this works is that as you go up the ranks, the trainers will become stronger and stronger in that typing. And so essentially, you don't want to pick the same type too many times, or else you might find yourself in some trouble. Because the Pokemon are getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger as you keep going up in the ranks. There we go, take care of the Nubble. Now I do have a little HP loss because of my life form, but it's worth the extra power. Confetti! Yippee! But thankfully, this is the reason why Life Orb is so powerful and some of these other items are going to be so powerful you're going to find in the Battle Frontier. Because by doing this, you get healed and you can use them in this frontier. So you can go kind of crazy with it. And since, just to demonstrate, how about we go for a rank 2 fire type? Honestly, you know what? That's not a fire type, that's a Pikachu. I once saw a lady wearing the same outfit as me. Are you sure that's the lady? I think that's a female Pikachu. Oh, never mind, it's just a dumb kid. Kidding, obviously. We got Charmander, who's doing a little jig. Look at him go. Unfortunately for you, I don't like jigs. I like murder! Ah, big waterfall. For the first few ranks, this is gonna be pretty simple, obviously. We're fighting a little baby fire-type Pokemon for Gyarados with a life orb. I don't think we're gonna have too much trouble with this from the start. You said you're kidding me, am I right? I think she likes you. Go get him, kid. Off he goes. Or maybe she. You know, I don't judge. Battle number 3, and just to keep going with it, more fire types, baby. The old man. Your eyes are clouded by doubt. This match will be entertaining. Let me see. Are you gonna be the old man who grows hair in battle? Oh my god, he does it again! How do they keep doing this? They're so powerful. Here's Magcargo, who's a little bit higher level, but unfortunately, Magcargo, Fire Rock type. You know what? Just to prove a point, I'm not even gonna use a water move. I'm gonna use Earthquake. It's like, oh baby, Magcargo has 5 billion physical defense. I'm sure it'll be fine. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Fire Rock is all very unfortunate typing. Yeah. So as you can see with the battle hall here, you can kind of, you know, pick, since you can pick your matchups, you can have a pretty smooth time of it at first. However, as things go on, it might become a little trickier. That said though, for today, since I'm just demonstrating the facilities, like, you know, at a glance for the most part, I'm only going to be showing the first, you know, a first run through essentially of these things. And for this mode, that would be, you know, 10 battles. Outstanding offensive and a great sense of humor. That's a clown. Sounds like me. Maybe I'm the clown. Alright, Frank, what you got? A Cyndaquil. As you can see, the levels are starting to catch up a little bit, but they're still not anything too crazy. Go hit another waterfall real quick. And honestly, for the rest of these battles, I think you guys get the idea generally about how this works until we get to the, you know, the 10 battles that we're supposed to get to. So I think for the rest of this, I'll do a little bit of fast forwarding here, play some music, so we can show off what happens when you get to 10 battles. So that being said, I'll let it rip. Back at normal speed just to show off the fact that we are now at battle number 10 in our win streak, and as you can see here, we actually have some items on them, which actually was kind of funny because it was a very niche interaction there. White Herb is an item that removes any stat drops you experience, and obviously Gyarados has Intimidate, so that's kind of funny. And it's fast to me, it goes for a Will-O-Wisp, which is actually kind of annoying because it's gonna have 5 attack. That said though, I still am like 10 levels higher than this thing, which is kind of funny because you can see how, like, even though we're at battle 10 of our 10 battle win streak, the Pokemon levels aren't super high. And yeah, like I thought, I'm still gonna one-shot this thing. It's a Gyarados with Life Orb and Super Effective Waterfall. Like, it's gonna hurt. What? No! How can I can't get over how tough you are. Thank you. And there we go. 10 battles defeated. And, you can save a replay of your battles to your versus record. It's been upgraded. However, personally, I'm not gonna bother. You cleared 10th battle hall match. Congratulations. For your stupendous win streak, you get us our rewarded BP. And for doing all of that, we get 1 BP. Yeah. Whoa. Not the greatest reward for the battle hall. However, if I remember correctly, the other ones reward you a little bit faster than this. But, hey. It's gonna, you know, it's better than nothing. That being said, though, there is... If you remember correctly when we first came here, we met Barry's dad, Palmer, who was apparently the head of the battle tower. Each one of these 5 areas actually have their own heads of the buildings, and while we're not going to get to see them during this playthrough, because like I said, I'm just covering the Battle Frontier kind of at not a super brief level, but brief enough, Argenta is the battle hall leader, and you'll get to battle her after doing enough battles here in a 1v1 with the same rules that you'd be battling with otherwise. So, pretty interesting stuff. That said, though, we're not going to get to see her during this playthrough, but who knows? Maybe one day if I'm, feeling up to it, maybe I'll, you know, grind all the way up here in the save file and get to show it off on YouTube later. That said, though, that's area number 1 done. The battle hall complete. So now we're going to move on to number 2, right up here. The Battle Tower. This is the one that most people are familiar with because it's probably the most iconic of the bunch. Which also has a pretty cool theme. Welcome to the Battle Tower. I'm your guide to the single and double battle rooms. Should I take the battle room challenge? And just like before, why don't we go over the rules? That's our first time. The Battle Tower is a facility for single double battle challenges. Once entered, the challenge lasts until you lose. In single battles format, you enter with 3 Pokemon. Double battle format, you enter with 4 Pokemon. So essentially, this one is also a win streak farming competition. You defeat all 7, you'll earn battle points. So yeah, we gotta do 7 battles here to get through some BP. And sure, why not? Which one would you like to like? We're gonna go single. Actually, you know what? Actually? Let's mix it up a little. bit. Hold on. You know what? Since we did our 1v1 singles last time, let's do double battles this time. Let's mix it up a little bit. And since we did double battles, I know exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do you. We're gonna do you in the lead. We're gonna bring you in the back, and I think Alice. Let's go for that. And once I get to save the game, I'm just gonna have to pray to God that my recording does not have a heart attack or something, because that would be quite awful, I would say. So let's get in there. I'm not sure the battle room. Now, what I will say here, the Battle Tower is like the most standard one of the bunch of these. It's probably like the most normal of the facilities, so we're not gonna go spend too long in here, but I would like to show a battle off or two. We're not gonna do double battles that often either, so we may as well. But we're probably not gonna do the entire challenge this time around. Just because, like I said, this is like the most standard of the facilities, and I think there's more interesting ones. One in particular I am quite fond of. Let's see what we got here. And as you can see here, they are level 50 here, and as you're gonna see with our Pokemon, we're also level 50. So unlike the Battle Hall, which, you know, levels were like uncapped or anything, this one, all Pokemon are level 50. So it's kind of, it's interesting, you know, you get some restraints here. Obviously, since this is our first time battling here, it's gonna be very easy. However, as you go up through the tower ranks and whatnot, the opponents are gonna get more tougher and tougher. So the level 50 cap is gonna matter a lot more in the future. That said, though, I don't think they're gonna appreciate the double Earthquake. I really don't. I wouldn't even surprise me if okay, actually, maybe I'm overestimating a little bit, because the double battles, any spread move you do, like Earthquake, for example, has its power at 75% would have usually done compared to, you know, 100% in single battle. So, underestimating it just a little bit. But the Torterra's Earthquake hand should absolutely finish this off. I see win. Not great. Ow. Ow. There goes my speed as well. And unfortunately, it's a 4-time effective move, so I actually do compare it to there, even though, you know, Shellos is not a strong Pokemon, and also Ice Wind's very weak. And Goldeen! Alright, I don't want to be that guy, but, I think this battle's over. I am hurting my own Torterra with this, but like I said, we got 2 Pokemon in the back, so I'm not too worried about this. Earthquakes, do a fairly big chunk. Not bad at all. Should be a dead Shellos. Nice. And that's working single targets. This is absolutely gonna kill. As it goes for Rain Dance. Which is powered by water move, which is not bad. Nice job. Chuck a seed bomb real quick. Awesome. Hey, it's Heal. Look at Higo. He's sticking his tongue out. What a silly guy. Unfortunately for him, a silly guy does not mean you're safe from. Oh, this is gonna hurt actually. 4 times effective? Yeah. I'm actually gonna get KO'd by this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ice Shard's a weak move, but I am 4 times weak to ice. Never mind. Bentley is just that tanky. That's why you are the guy. Not bad, Bentley. Not bad at all. Fine job. Fine job. I think you see with the life orb and the rain boost and everything, even if the thing is resisted, it's not surviving that. It's not surviving that. We'll take it though. So there you go. We get our HP restored just like all the other facilities, and there you go. So we could keep going if we wanted to and work our way up to 7 wins to get a battle streak going and get some BP for our trouble. However, because this is like the most simple of all the facilities and like the most straightforward, we're gonna call it here. Wait, no, wrong one. We have to retire. There you go. No BP if you cancel early, but you know, it's fair enough. Thank you for playing. Thank you for hosting. How about that? You ever think about that? And with that, we'll call it for the Battle Tower. And obviously, no need for introductions here. We already met him once before. The Tower Tycoon is Homer, Barry's dad, who you'll be able to fight if you do enough battles here and grind up your way up the tower. However, for the time being, we are not going to do that because, like I said, we are just not, you know, going that in depth with this for the time being. On to the next one, which, if I'm not mistaken, the Battle Factory. This is my favorite one of the bunch, and in my opinion, the most fun one. The Battle Factory. I used to play this one all the time as a kid, a lot. And also, used to play with a good friend of mine and my cousins way back in the day, too. And oh my god, nostalgia for hearing this song. I played this mode like crazy when I was a kid. I won't lie to you, I've never been too crazy about the Battle Frontier. Like, it's not bad or anything, I enjoy it, but this mode, like this one, did a lot of heavy lifting. I loved the Battle Factory. Welcome to the Battle Factory, and your guide to single and double battle challenges. Please be aware that these challenges are designed for a single trainer. So the Battle Factory, I could go into the info here, however, I think it's more fun to talk about it myself because I played this mode like crazy, so let's go right into it. So as you can see here, in this mode, you can choose whatever Pokemon to be level 50, or if you can do open level. If I'm not mistaken, if memory serves, like I said, it's been a while since I played this, but believe me, I played it a lot when I was a kid. Open level has all Pokemon be level 100. However, for the sake of this, we'll do level 50. I'm getting nostalgia from hearing this speed, man. Oh my god, it has been so long. Right this way, please. Let's get in there. And who might this be? You may wonder. On a bit of research to your next opponents, you can expect to see Starly, Sableye, and Minun. First, we will hold your Pokemon in exchange for renting your Pokemon. So just choose a Pokemon after appropriate delegation. There we go. So how this mode works is that you have to pick your Pokemon from what they have to offer you, and you get to bring 3 of them. So I think, let's see what we're working with here. We got a Happiny here with a Citrus Berry, Adamant Nature, not bad. We got a Minun with Shockwave, Swift Fig, Tears Helping Hand, and a Petroai Berry. We got a Grimer of Black Sludge, cool. We got a Bonsly, and we got a Numble. And to be honest with you, I already have an idea who I'm picking in my mind already. But I guess we can look at Snubble too, why not? There's a Razor Claw and an Adamant Nature, okay. Here's the plan, we're gonna go with Snubble, we're gonna go with Numble, and we're gonna go with Grimer. The Ave Squad, let's go. So yeah, what makes this mode really cool is that you don't use your own Pokemon, you have to work with what they give you, and I think that makes it infinitely more interesting. And extremely fun to play, on repeat. Ah, take a break. No, we have to begin right away? I mean, you just got here. I don't know what you expected. Cowgirl AFC. Alright, Cowgirl, let me show you a ringing old time with my Snubble. Guys, you can see all Pokemon level 50 here, and because we are a Snubble, I'm going to go right for the headbutt. As they growl. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. Go, my Snubble. Headbutt. do 5 billion because Snubble's headbutt is just a tactical warhead like that. Yeah, we have an actual attack stat here. That said, though, they do have a Sableye, who is a bit problematic for me because I only have Bite to hit it with, and I don't think it's gonna be that strong. As they go for Fake Out. Ow. Okay, tell you what. I have a new plan for this. We're gonna go into our Grimer here, which has the block sledges we saw from before. Get some healing going. Be kind of tanky. Shouldn't take too much from a Shadow Sneak. Sableye has like a very low attack stat. Yeah, there we go. And we have our exclusive item here for poison types, the Black Sledge. It's like it's a leftovers for poison types essentially. It hurts other Pokemon that aren't poison type holding it. Get some healing. Fake attack. This might hurt a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. Actually, ow. Ow, my, okay, you know what? I take it back. Grimer, this is not working out. You got the Toxic out though, which is kind of nice. Get some badly poison going. He's gonna rack up damage over time. Get our healing a little bit going as well, not bad. And with that, I'm now going to go over into Schnubble? Yeah, Schnubble. And hopefully it goes for a Ghost type move, so I can just be immune, because I'm a normal type. Because the Fire type didn't exist yet. As it goes for Detect, which does absolutely nothing but wasted time and getting hurt by poison. Awesome. Gonna go for the Bite then. Goes for Feint Attack, not the Ghost move I was hoping for, but still not bad. And oh my god, this thing is doing that. Why is Sableye so strong? I thought this thing had like low attack stat. Am I misremembering? I'm getting beat up right now. And unfortunately, I don't have a good way to switch into this, so I'm just gonna stay in. As it goes for Shadow Sneak instead of killing me. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sableye. Go for another Bite, take some more poison damage, and hopefully it feints the poison. It sure does. The power of Toxic, baby. And finally, Minun. And because I feel like having a Frio victory, we're gonna go into Numble, which I'm pretty sure this thing is not getting a touch whatsoever because I am Fire Ground type. Numble. As it goes for Swift. Okay, I don't think it's gonna do a whole lot. Why is that hitting so hard? Holy crap. Alright, in that case, we're gonna go for Magnitude instead. Yeah, you fool, I'm ground type. Magnitude 6, not the greatest roll, but it's fine. It's more than fine. Oh, that's why I got a crit. I was like, holy crap. I know mine's frail, but it shouldn't have done that much. Aren't you a tough one? You should take breaks, though. True. Good advice. And now we've done it. We got our team fully healed, just like all the other facilities. And more importantly, here's where this mode becomes really cool. I did a bit of research to your next opponents. You expect to see Delibird, Illumise, and Ariados. You can trade Pokemon after each battle, and how this works is you can only trade with the Pokemon that they were using as well, so you have to like strategically plan this out. Now, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that Sableye was doing some damage to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and exchange for it, I think. We're gonna go ahead and pick one up. And there you go, so now we can go into our next battle after trading Pokemon with the person we just beat. And this is how you climb the entire facility, and in my opinion, this is by far the coolest mode in this entire facility. Or like the entire frontier. Because you have to make work with what you got. You can't bring your own things and plan ahead. You have to go make it up on the fly, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It's honestly like a modern Pokemon roguelike, honestly. There's like, before anyone says, I know there's like a fan-made Pokerogue, is what it's called, but like this is kind of like an official like roguelike for Pokemon. It's kind of cool, honestly. I'm a big fan of it. It's kind of weird too, because I'm not usually a big person who likes roguelike stuff. I'm not that crazy into roguelike stuff. But I don't know, this just does it for me. I think it's just because of the Pokemon brain I have. It's probably what it is, honestly. Got Ariados. Pokemon I am quite fond of visually. Very cool Pokemon. Unfortunately for you, you went for a Ghost move against a normal type. Why does this keep happening? Is this the second coming of Mischievous and like Pokemon... the Pokemon Coliseum? It doesn't affect Snubble. It doesn't affect Snubble. It's like the opposite though, because I'm the normal type. That's more like it. Ow! This is gonna hurt. I'm a baby Pokemon. This is a fully grown Pokemon. This is really gonna hurt. Yeah, look at that. Ow. Thankfully, my Snubble has an actual attack stat. It's like being a baby. So, it lived on 1, and there's hail. That's gonna work out in this favor, because Ariados is gonna get knocked out here. Ow. And finally, Illumise. Alright. I'll go for another headbutt. As it goes for Helping Hand. Yeah, they're not very, they're not picking the best moves, are they? And I get another critical hit. Thank you, Razor Claw. Very cool. Actually feels like cleansing to be fresh as badly. Yeah, maybe if you didn't go for the ghost move on a normal type, that wouldn't have happened. Just saying. And there you go. Now you got the general gist of how this mode works. I'm not going to keep going for the time being, but just let me know, this is probably my favorite mode in the Battle Frontier, and when I was a kid, I played the crap out of this. But for the time being, we're going to call it here. It's also got a pretty cool theme, honestly. And with that being said, there is the Battle Factory. The head of the Battle Factory is Thornton, who has a very funny hairstyle. And I believe he's one of the... I think I fought him a couple of times as a kid. It's been a while since this game came out. You gotta forgive me, alright? It's been a while. So there's the Battle Factory. 3 out of 5. Let's go on to our next one, which is, I believe, over here? Yes. Our next one is down here. This here is the Battle Arcade. Pretty cool one if I remember correctly. Let's get in there. Because look at this atmosphere. Pretty cool. Wait a minute, what the heck is... Okay, before we go into this... What are you doing down here on your own? Playing the game forward for losing is pitiful. It's poor form. The Game Boy will show better choices the greater the wins you achieve. Thank you, 4-year-old child, for your wise wisdom. That being said, though, let's get into it. Also, this theme is pretty unique for this game. Welcome to the Battle Arcade. I'm your guide to single and double battle challenges. These are where these challenges designed for a single trainer. And because, you know, we may as well have the explanation. At the Battle Arcade, you may take a single and double battle challenge. Here, the game board is activated before every match. Depending on what comes on with the game board, an event takes place. So this will be good for the challenger, while others won't be. The challenge is to keep winning a streak alive as long as possible. If you challenge, any items held by your Pokemon will be kept in storage. If you manage to win 7 matches in a row, you'll get battle points, just like the other places. So yeah, this one's a bit interesting. I think it's a pretty cool concept. You go into battles, have special events happen. That being said, though, we're gonna go with you. We're gonna go with... You know what? I'll actually go with Big Perfect. She hasn't had time to shine this episode yet. Go for you, and then I'll go for you, I think. Let's get in there. This is probably my second favorite of the bunch, I'd say. It's pretty neat. I like the ones you have to adapt on the fly, essentially. This is a very funny hallway. Nice Z shape you got going on here. And here we are. Welcome to the Battle Arcade. First, I'll need to hold on to any hell-ends by your Pokemon. Game number 1, come on! We're fighting a TV reporter. What further ado, let's activate the game board. So as you can see here, once you get into a battle here, everything will start spinning. And depending on what you land on, different things are going to happen. So let's go with you. I forgot I was touchscreen. That's our current event. We're getting shot by lightning from heaven. The match will commence with my Pokemon paralyzed. Oh boy. So yeah, as you can see, as the girl mentioned earlier, good and bad things can happen to you. And unfortunately, we rolled a very bad thing indeed. No one likes being paralyzed. But here we are. We got a Clamperl too. Actually, can I be... Oh, wait a minute, because I'm a ground type, I can't be paralyzed, right? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, it actually takes into account your Pokemon typings. That's actually pretty handy. That being said, I'm going to use a chance to use this move yet. Rockbreaker, go! As they protect. There goes my hype. Let's try this again. Rockbreaker, go! The strongest rock move in the game! Ugh. 150 power. This thing survives, I'll be shocked. It survived. It survived pretty handily, in fact. I know Clamperl's got like a good defense stat, but I'm kind of shocked it lived that. And now I'm taking whirlpool damage. This is horrible. Ooh! Oh! Ooh, water! Oh! And a crit. Oh my god, okay. The luck is in his favor for sure. Good heavens. It's fine though, because now I can move. Let's go for an earthquake. Because Clamperl's one of the few Pokemon that are somehow slower than me, even though I'm very slow. Earthquake, and knock him out, not bad. Skip. This guy has a bunch of Pokemon to beat Big Bertha, huh? Too bad I'm too stupid to switch out. Okay, fair enough. But I thought it'd be funny. Come on, you should have let me do it. Fine. KO me, I guess. I had to play my paralyzed Pokemon. Alright, let's go, Big Boss. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna get paralyzed if I fly, so I'm just gonna go for Night Slashes instead. But I don't think Skiploom has a way to actually hurt me. Like, I'm flying type, obviously, so I think it only gets really grass move, so yeah, we'll be more than fine. I'm not getting paralyzed too, which is kind of nice. Okay, hold on. Now, unfortunately, we aren't allowed to hold on to our held items during this mode, so I don't have the guaranteed, not guaranteed, it's a very high crit chance. Which, speaking of which, kind of a funny note, I mentioned, I put a note on my last video talking about it when I was mentioning it. But for the longest time, I thought it was guaranteed crits in Gen 4, but no, it turns out that was actually, like, a new thing that happened in the future games. It was not applied to Super Luck in this game. So, oopsies. That's still very good crit chances, though, so, you know, can't complain. It's very high up there. There we go, take care of Mime Jr. And there's one battle down. Now, to be fair, we may have won the battle. However, oh hey, she runs up to me. How handy! Very, very on the ball staff. Very, very appreciated. Now, normally I'd say like, okay, we showed off the mechanic. We may as well, you know, go. However, I want to try and show off what happens when we get the good luck. So take a look at the game board here, and as you're gonna see here, hopefully, we are the black side, they are the red side. So if we get a red tile, they get affected, but if we get a black tile, they get affected. I mean, we get affected. So with that being said, I'm gonna try. There you go. Here's our card event. Shine the yellow light of heaven on them, and now their entire party's gonna be paralyzed. So, it works both ways, you know. You can get screwed over, you can get very lucky. All sorts of things can happen in the Battle Arcade, which, you know, is the appeal of it. I'm sorry, Idle Penny. If you're a paralyzed team, Big Bertha should now be faster than the entire opposing team, which means it's gonna be a clean sweep, I fear. Hit the earthquake. And knock it out nice and easy. But yeah, the Battle Arcade, it's an interesting mode. Probably my second favorite over all of them. It's not too crazy at the start here because we're just starting off here, but as the win streaks keep going, you get some pretty intense battles, just like all the other modes here. Keep in mind, if it looks like I'm just like, you know, blazing through everything, like it's nice and easy, it's because we're at the very start of all the Frontier challenges. Like, as you go on for these things, they get much more tricky. So don't take what you're seeing here as, like, you know, the definitive difficulty. Maybe I'm Licky Tongue. I don't think I can talk anymore. And because I can, goodbye, Licky Tongue. Ah, unlike Clamperl, you should not live this. Right? Surely. Hell yeah! Not bad. Now, Liz, she must never act angry. It's a big no-no. How commendable. I will say the music here is kind of crazy. That being said, though, we gotta show off what happens when we get the buff and they get the debuff, so, you know, I think we'll call it there for now. If I can menu properly. And there you go. But there is the Battle Arcade, which means only one is left remaining for us to showcase. For the time being, obviously. Pretty cool place. That being said, though, as usual, the frontier head of this place is the Arcade Star, Dahlia. I will say, Dahlia has a really cool design. I am quite fond of how Dahlia looks in this game a lot. She's a very neat-looking character. Definitely my favorite looking of all the Battle Frontier heads. But we can't dwell on that for too long because we have one more place to go. You may be able to guess it from just, you know, the appearance, but this here is the Battle Castle. Which is very regal in stature and form. Welcome to the Battle Castle. I am your guide to the single double battle challenges. We know this bit. However, what we don't know is the info, so how about we check it out? At the Battle Castle, you may take part in single or double battle challenges. You are provided with castle points, CP, that you must manage. The CP are used for healing Pokemon, renting items or berries, and so on. CP are earned by winning matches. The amount varies by how you win. You have to keep winning, or you keep a winning streak alive by managing your CP. If you win 10 battles in a row, you get yourself some BP. So that being said, we will keep going. And for this one, let's lead with Alice. Alice hasn't got any time to shine this episode. Neither has Galahad, so we'll do this. You also may have noticed here already, but you don't get experience while you're doing the Battle Frontier stuff, so don't worry. You can't really grind here, per se. Like, you can, but you can't. You know, if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. You read my lips, even. But anyways, let's get to our showcase of the final of the 5. And here, we have a certain somebody. Welcome to the Battle Castle. My name is Daroach. I'll be the host on behalf of the Lady Caitlin, the owner of the castle. First, I must ask you for any headlines your Pokemon are holding. They will be returned to you when you leave. Next, I have 10 castle points, CP, that can be used only here. They are for you. Please accept them. Please choose what you wish to do. So here, we have the options of using our CP. We have Self, which we may be able to heal a Pokemon and rent an item for it. We may be able to check the opponent's team, or we can battle against the trader. And since we're here, we may as well use our CP. And so for this, I'm going to go over to Alice, and I'm going to go ahead and, we'll rent out an item. Unfortunately, can't rent an item for that, so we'll rent a berry instead. For the cost of a measly 5 CP, we'll give ourselves a citrus berry for healing. And we'll leave now. Let's go battle. Very well, please proceed. So believe it or not here, unlike the other ones we've been to so far, you can actually see the Frontier heads right off the bat, because up there is Caitlin, and the person we saw before was Daroach, or Daroach. And Daroach is actually the Battle Frontier head, and Caitlin's kind of more of a spectator of sorts. She stays along with him, which is kind of cute. However, what's actually kind of interesting about these two is that while Daroach doesn't appear in any future games outside the Battle Frontier, Daroach is actually, not Daroach, Caitlin is actually a familiar character if you played some other Pokemon games. Specifically, Gen 5, because believe it or not, she's actually an Elite Four member in the Unovan region. However, obviously, we're not in Unova, and she's kind of chilling here. So I like to imagine that, like, after, you know, she did her work here in the Battle Frontier, she went off to go do her own thing, and eventually end up in Unova and becoming an Elite Four member. That being said, she could also just be an Elite Four member, you know, already, and she's taking a break and coming over here. Who's to say? But it's kind of cool that they reused a character like that for the future games. And honestly, it's kind of shocking to do that, because for the most part, Gen 5 is like pretty separate from the other Pokemon games for the most part, because it has like its own Pokedex and whatnot. So it's kind of interesting. And also on that note, while I'm talking about the Battle Frontier facilities here, I would say this is probably like the other, you know, kind of like roguelike sort of, you know, thing, because you spend points by winning battles. Then you spend the points you get from winning said battles. You can use them on items and stuff and whatnot. You have to go through a win streak and whatnot. So it's kind of like another roguelike mode. So if you're like roguelike brained, you'll probably like the Battle Frontier a lot, because that's what most of this place is. Nice little spins on battles that reward you for, you know, a little bit of smart play. Just in case your own items and whatnot. You're a little creative, you know? It's a good change of pace. It's a fun one. And funny enough, because we already seen Daroach and Caitlin, I actually don't have to talk about who the Frontier head is here, because yeah, we've seen them. Kind of handy for my sake. Hello, Slowpoke. How are you doing? Looking very lazy as always. And finish. Not bad. And there we go. So you can see we took in the win, and now George, CP for this trainer at once. Blackford, well done. Quite a remarkable victory it was. The Caitlin has a strategy to reward you 28 CP. So yeah, depending on how much you quote-unquote entertain Caitlin, you'll get some CP for your trouble, which is quite handy. Upcoming is battle number 2. I trust you already? Now, we could keep going with this. And you know what? Because it's the final one, we shall. Because now, I want to do this. First of all, we should probably show off this feature I just completely ignored. You can actually check out your opposing Pokemon's team. However, it will cost you CP to do such a thing. In this case, it costs us 1 CP to do this. Which is kind of interesting. And you know what? We may as well show off the feature. Another person with an Artists. Artists is just really popular apparently over here, which I respect because Artists is cool. And since we're already here, how about we go ahead and use our CP to heal our Pokemon, because as you can see here, we do not get healed in between battles. We have to heal our own Pokemon like this. And that includes HP, PP, and all the like. So you have to keep on top of this and not spend too many points on certain things, or you might find your Pokemon on the brink of death. Which is pretty cool, honestly. It's an interesting system. And honestly, now that I think about it more, this is probably my actual second favorite mode of this entire place. I probably like this place more than the arcade. But they're both cool, so it's fine. Alright, Bugcatcher Floyd. Makes sense you have an Artists if you're a Bugcatcher. Scooper's having a little bit of a jig when he came out the Pokeball. Good for him. And because I feel like knocking this out in one hit, hopefully, we're gonna go for an Ice Beam. Gonna come close. It is just barely not enough. And thankfully, I don't have a berry, or else that would probably snatch my berry and ruin my item I just bought. Oh, wait, no, it's not my citrus berry. I just forgot. No, I do have a berry. Oh, no. It's kind of a funny side effect of Bug Bite is that you can steal people's berries, and it actually came into play here. There goes my well-spent CP down the drain, all 5 of them. How unfortunate. There's some Ariados, which thankfully I double resist, because Ghost for some reason resists poison and bug, kind of weird. But I'm not complaining because it works in my favor this time. There we go, so it goes for a Toxic. That's not great, because if I'm not mistaken, that carries over between rounds here, so if I didn't heal it, we'd have to deal with Toxic for quite a few games, until I die. And Shadow Sneak, okay. This might hurt. Artist actually has a pretty decent attack stat, so yeah, a fair bit of damage there. Not too bad, though. We're doing okay. And get the critical hit. Okay, not bad. We'll take it. Which leaves just the one remaining Pokemon for the time being. Butterfree! How you doing? Unfortunately for you, yeah, I'm faster, and you're part flying type, so goodbye. Now, if you survive this, I will be surprised. Why did you actually live that and not that close to getting KO'd, all things considered? What the heck? Alex, we gotta set this up. Unfortunately, I think Alex is gonna get knocked out here too, because of the poison. Alrighty, well, we lost the Pokemon. That's not great. However, it means Galahad gets to make a quick cameo before the Frontier tutorial is over, I guess. Cut this thing up. There you go. I think we featured the entire team in this episode. Not bad. It'd be cool if there was a Bug Net Pokemon. Actually, kind of surprising that Game Freak has not done that in, like, 9 generations at this point. Alright, thank you, Caitlin. Good show. Hard-fought win, yes. Because judgment towards you 20 CP. So as you can see here, I got a little bit less this time because we lost the Pokemon. So you do have to perform pretty well if you want to keep the good rewards coming in. Now, thankfully, if your Pokemon gets knocked out here, you do get revived. That said, though, I don't actually remember if you heal all the way or halfway. Yeah, you get 1 HP. I thought so, yeah. So it's not scot-free, but you do have to heal them up like this. And since we're already here in this battle, this will be the last one for the time being, so let's use our remaining CP. Let's see, what do you got? Louise, Kabuto, and another Butterfree. Alright, I think we'll be just fine. And since we're leaving after this battle, let's get an item, shall we? Never mind, we can't do that yet. Okay, oh yeah, I forgot about this part, actually. I literally forgot about this. If you want to be able to give your Pokemon items, you have to spend 100 CP on the Pokemon to unlock it for the Pokemon slot. So, yeah, we have nothing even close to this for the time being. Which is honestly pretty cool. That's it, though. I think we're gonna do this. Berries, This my last one got so rudely stolen by a Bug Bite. Let's try this again. And for one final battle for the episode, let's get in there. Another cameraman. Well, battle, keep looking for the best shot of you. Joke's on you, dummy. All my sides are my good side. Unlike Macho Man from Punch-Out. Alright. Let's end this Battle Frontier exploration off with a banger. But as you can see here, my PP is down to 5 instead of 10 because we actually had to restore PP separately of our CP. So you do gotta match your CP quite well. And get some pretty decent wins, or else you might find yourself into a bit of a hard spot. As they switch out into their Kabuto. That's actually a smart switch. I think sure does resist Ice-type moves. And unfortunately, Freeze Dry does not exist yet, so I can't hit you with that. That said, though, that still did 5 billion damage. Good lord. Yeah, Kabuto's special defense is not great. There you go. Take care of that real quick. Not bad. Our second time seeing Butterfree and Eloise in the same episode. You don't see that too often, so appreciate it. It's like a miracle. See 2 of them. Wish! That's a pretty cool move. It'll heal next turn. Unfortunately, it's not going to survive until next turn. Has a very pretty animation too. But unfortunately, not going to matter. And there you go. That's me losing. That was get deleted immediately. Proper content creator. So as you can see here, now we won that battle with any, loss of Pokemon. We get 29 CP. So there is actual good merit to playing well in these battles, which is kind of nice. With that being said, though, for the time being, we're going to call it there. With that being said, this nice castle aside, very pretty. However, not really my speed. I'm more of a street boy. You don't understand? That being said, we've shown off all 5 facilities of the Battle Frontier. Mostly just a mode for you to play in the post game if you want to do some Pokemon battling, get some BP, training for Pokemon for getting some items for like fun of your friends and whatnot. But overall, just a good time to just mess around. And obviously, there's the 5 Frontier heads, which are all like their own like bosses you have to work towards. So pretty cool mode, all things considered. And I wanted to give it a pretty thorough look in one episode, even though I knew it was gonna take a while. But it's a pretty cool mode, so I wanted to mention nonetheless. Now, that being said, though, that's gonna do it all for today for Pokemon Platinum. And to be honest with you, now give us a quick tour of the Battle Frontier. Maybe one day I'll come back and we'll do like I'll grind off screen and we'll get to show off the Battle Frontier battles. However, for the time being, we're done here. However, when it comes to show off things in Pokemon Platinum's post game, at this point I'm mostly pretty content with all the things I've shown off here because I've basically shown off most of the things that I can feasibly do within my save file, without Wi-Fi events and whatnot. So honestly, I'm thinking next time in Pokemon Platinum, we might be taking on our final trial, believe it or not. And our final trial for this adventure of ours is a familiar place. The Pokemon League. Because once you've beaten the game, and once you've helped Bucky out with Heatran and whatnot, the Pokemon League becomes a lot stronger, and you can rematch them. So I think next time on Pokemon Platinum, we're gonna begin our final set of battles against the new and improved Cynthia. And Elite Four, of course. That being said, though, before I get into that, their levels are going to be significantly higher than when we fought them previously. Obviously, if we didn't do that, it wouldn't be much of a challenge, because most of our Pokemon are pretty caught up with, Cynthia at this point. And she's going to be even stronger this time. So that being said, before the next episode comes out, I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of grinding on screen. I'm not going to go super crazy with grinding, because I think it's more interesting if it's, a true uphill battle. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed our Frontier exploration. And next time Pokemon Platinum, our rematch begins with the Elite Four. And to prove why we're champion. See you guys then.